I had a meditation class this weekend, and the student asked me how to control the activity of her mind, all those thoughts that just keep coming. In fact, really, she had had meditation before, and she just didn't stick with it, or at least didn't get the results that she wanted. She just had too many thoughts. So I wanted to briefly talk about meditation related to the biological responses. The biological responses are the basic innate workings of our biology. In general, there are 7 of them. The first one is flight-fight, the basic animal response. The second one is reaction, the reactive biological response. Now that one has to deal with society, civilization. We have safe city borders. We're safe within our nations, our communities. So we don't have to run or fight anymore, which leaves us safe, but to react from within the inside, a bit of emotional turmoil or whatever develops. The third one is, third biological response that we have access to, if we choose, is indeed that meditation response. So generally, most people are, on this planet, are in the reactive biological response unless they indeed choose to meditate. Well, so the third response is really a choice to meditate, the restful awareness biological response, to transcend the reactive response. It's a choice. It's a practice. It's really meditation. And from meditation, you can activate the intuitive biological response. Become more, in the flow. Let's just keep it that simple. Which leads to the creative biological response. And that's the one I want to talk about right now. You see, if we are in the creative biological response, we learn to use the mind rather than let the mind use us. All those thoughts can indeed be used to our benefit if we indeed know when to stop and use the mind effectively. So to do that, it takes the 9 steps of the creative biological response. So the 9 steps are a map, but you're the territory. It's up to you how you use the creative biological response. First, there's inner vision, and that's activated through meditation, and desires, intentions, and the will to implement such. So really the first one is inner vision, but you can put it down simply as intention, intended outcome. That's the first of the 9 I's, intended. Now the second and third one has to do with thoughts. Information gathering, number 2, and information analysis. And that's the normal situation we find ourselves in daily life. However, when we keep gathering information and continue to analysis and don't get anywhere, I like to say that's like a dog chasing its tail. We don't need to do that at all, if you indeed choose to stop. You see, once you reach the point where there are so many thoughts and so much analysis, what do? Well, little mini meditations, which is the 4th biological response. We call that incubation. The incubation is like little meditations where you just stopped. Quit chasing your tail. Stop. And do something else. Do something, well, sit and breathe, sit and meditate. Take the time to just be. Go for a walk, walk in the grass, have some nice soul food, something to take your mind off. Be with friends, anything. However, you can officially just sit and be, incubate. Let those ideas incubate. Do something else. And then wait for the 5th biological response, insight. Insight, yes. Just out of the blue, out of that light bulb moment can come an insight. And once you have the right insight, you're inspired. That's the next biological response, inspiration. And once you're inspired, nothing will stop you. That's when your heart and your mind are together, and you will achieve your intention. So, all the active parts are have an intention, number 1. Number 2, gather information. Number 3, information analysis. And incubation. If you don't get an insight, incubate. And you'll have an insight. Take a look at that insight. See if it's the right one. If not, maybe some more information comes. Go ahead, analyze it. Then you reach that point where you're running in circles again. Okay, stop. Wait for another insight. It might take a day, it might take an hour, it might take a week, it might take a month. No matter what, though, you have reached the point of incubation, you're relaxed, and you're able to go ahead, wait for more insights until finally that insight turns to an inspiration. And then it follows with implementation, integration, and finally, incarnation. That intention has been manifested. And the thoughts have been controlled by your creative biological response. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your listening.